Hey, you, Doctor Strange. Yeah, you strange, intellectual man. I could do magic too, you ready? I can summon the power of FaceTime. Hey everybody, what's going on? That Cubs win, that Chicago Cubs win, that game was insane, but not to digress. Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host, John Maffio, and today's featured movie is Doctor Strange. It's directed by Scott Derrickson, and this is a movie that's based on a really popular Marvel character, the Sorcerer Supreme, the Mystic Realm Defender. He's played by Benedict Cumberbatch. This movie also stars Rachel McAdams, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, and Mads Mikkelsen. The story revolves around Stephen Strange. He's a really phenomenal neurosurgeon who works in New York City. He's great at what he does. He's one of the best, probably the best at what he does, but he's also an arrogant prick. He has no humility whatsoever, but when he gets into a really tragic accident and basically loses both his hands, he has to get to a really low point. He goes to the other side of the world to find a way to bring back his awesome adept skills, but he basically runs into Chiwetel Ejiofor, who plays Mordo, and Tilda Swinton's the Ancient One, who shows him a new way of life that could heal his hands, but also show him beyond what he's ever known, what any human being has ever known. And also Mads Mikkelsen plays the antagonist, the failed student of the Ancient One, who wants to basically do things because motivations and evil. Scott Derrickson, I'm a really big fan of him from a directing standpoint. Having followed him on social media the last couple years, it seems like he's really in tune with this character, and I think he did a really good job directing this movie. I can't imagine it was an easy feat to take and tackle on this character and the story that revolves around him, even though I think the story as a whole is kind of formulaic, but visually and just from a world-building standpoint, Doctor Strange is one of the most innovative superhero movies in recent years, especially from Marvel Studios, where things can get a little bit, on the conventional side. Visually, there's a lot of reasons to return to Doctor Strange, and upon first viewing, it is a trippy experience. It's one of the most visually captivating movies, blockbusters anyway, that I've seen in a long time. It really is, as many critics have said, a weird love child of The Matrix and Inception, because of the way the world surrounding these characters is manipulated, dissected, and transformed into various different things. It's like watching a giant kaleidoscope a lot of the time. It also is a lot of different aspects of the Doctor Strange universe that are actually explained pretty well. Marvel has done a really good job of taking characters and their worlds and really not like dumbing it down, but breaking it down in a way that audiences of all ages and all intellects can understand without getting too confused. The action sequences are bonkers. Even the first big action sequence, which takes place in the opening scenes of the movie, is like ridiculous. They really hit you with a bang, and they really show you the power of what these characters can do right away. Although after that, I will say I wasn't a fan of how speedy the process of the storytelling was when Doctor Strange basically evolves into Doctor Strange. He gets into the accident within the first 15-20 minutes, and I never really felt the impact of his tragic accident because I don't think we spent enough time with him, Stephen Strange as a character, before he gets into the accident. When we get to the actual crazy astral plane, otherworldly things that happen with this character, once he meets the Ancient One, I was fully engrossed from beginning to the end from that point though. I just think the beginning was a little rushed, getting to that point where it shows his origin story. Also, Rachel McAdams was really terribly wasted in this movie. She has quite a few scenes, but her character is completely wasted in my opinion. She shows up for convenience, she's there for convenience. Mads Mikkelsen, as I mentioned before, is not the best antagonist. Marvel Studios has had a knack for that, but the gravitas of his acting performance really elevates his character and his arc. The Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton. Tilda Swinton's always great, and I really liked her character, and she was really formidable and really badass. Stephen Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch. What do I say? I mean, I don't know much about Doctor Strange, but if he's gonna be the face of D. Strange for a long time, I could buy that. He's great. I understood where he was coming from, even from his arrogant and very condescending perspective when he was first like that. I really enjoyed seeing his arc from beginning to end, and now seeing where he is at the end of the movie, I can't wait to see where his character is taking next. Chiwetel Ejiofor's character is a character that I really like too, but I do think that his character arc seems to kind of go in a weird, rushed direction towards the end of the movie. Although the plot is conventional, it's not a bad thing. I understand that a character in a story like this is really hard to translate to screen based off a comic, because the comic, I imagine, is really intense. But you have to take something like that and make it a movie. So I understand where they're coming from. It just felt a little too safe from a story perspective, but seeing how they translated his powers and how he uses his powers to basically get the plot progressing and create resolution for the story was very inventive, and I was a big fan of what they did to resolve the story. Having Stephen Strange utilize his powers and learn how to use his powers the right way to get things done. Overall though, Doctor Strange is a solid entry into the Marvel Studios collection. Is it fantastic in my opinion? No. Visually, it's outstanding. From a story and plot perspective, it's very conventional and it kind of lacks, it doesn't really have much substance from a story perspective. There's a lot of substance in Stephen Strange and a couple other characters, but there's other characters who get barely anything, so they're bare bones. The story is kind of bare bones in my opinion. The greatest thing about this movie that stands out is the visuals and the visual effects. But I love what this does in introducing new aspects of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love the characters that are introduced. I loved how this movie felt like its own thing, and visually, the world building is magnificent. I was so into what they were setting up for this universe, internally for this character alone, and I can't wait to see what happens next. The movie itself, though, in my opinion, was lacking a lot, and that's why I'm going to give Doctor Strange a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It's a darn good Applebee's meal. It's a pretty good movie, really. It's just not great, and that's okay. Perfectly okay. But now I want to know from you guys, what did you think of D. Strange? That just sounds weird, doesn't it? D. Strange. I'm going to call him Doctor Strange. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch's portrayal of the character? Did you enjoy the movie? And what do you want to see next if you've seen the movie and you enjoyed where the story was taken in this movie? If you enjoyed this video and this review, please like, subscribe, and check out my social medias in the info box. I always appreciate when you guys check out my social medias because I am popping on it. Not really, I'm just an average guy. But, you know, if you wanna, down there. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and I'll see you guys next time.